Season 1 of Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender introduces a world separated into 4 kingdoms: fire, water, earth, and air, all practicing the bending arts for their respective elements. Lord Sozin, leader of the Fire Nation, wants to assert his people's dominance across the entire world, and as part of his plot, he seeks to preemptively kill the next Avatar, a being born every generation who can bring balance to the 4 kingdoms. Knowing that the next Avatar is prophesied to be born into the air nomads, and strengthened by a fabled comet that increases the power of firebenders, Sozin leads his army to commit a genocide of the air nomad people. Amidst this attack, the young airbender Aang learns from his mentor, brother Gyatso, that he is the latest reincarnation of the Avatar, and manages to evade the massacre by flying away on his sky bison Appa. Unfortunately, the pair are then caught in a storm, forcing Aang to freeze himself and Appa in a giant iceberg to evade certain death. 100 years later, Aang and Appa are freed from the ice by the siblings Katara and Sokka. The pair are members of the Southern Water Tribe, where Katara trains as a waterbender, and Sokka has been made leader following his father heading off to war against the Fire Nation. Sokka is bitter toward the Avatar Aang for hiding away for a century, allowing the Fire Nation to assert their power against the other kingdoms, while Aang is dismayed to learn that all of his loved ones are long dead, making him the last Airbender. Elsewhere, Prince Zuko of the Fire Nation, accompanied by his uncle and mentor Iroh, is determined to find and capture the long-missing Avatar. 3 years prior, Zuko's father, Fire Lord Ozai, had plotted to sacrifice the entire 41st Division of soldiers, made up of new recruits, in his war for domination. Zuko publicly challenged his father's callous action, leading to Ozai challenging his son to a fire-bending duel. Ozai defeated Zuko, leaving him with a scar on his face, proclaimed that compassion is weakness, then banish Zuko until he can prove his worth by capturing the next reincarnation of the Avatar. Now, as Prince Zuko's forces descend upon the Southern Water Tribe, Aang, Sokka, and Katara flee aboard Appa. After surveying the wreckage of the air temple he once called home, Aang vows to hone his powers, master all of the bending arts, avenge his people, and bring balance to the 4 kingdoms. Katara and Sokka decide to act as Aang's protectors while he trains, and the group are joined by a flying lemur named Momo. The group's first stop is Kyoshi Island, where Aang visits the shrine of a previous Avatar named Kyoshi, whose spirit helps Aang train in his powers, while also warning of a great threat that will soon descend upon the Northern Water Tribe. Meanwhile, Sokka befriends Suki, the daughter of the island's mayor, who trains him in the ways of the Kyoshi warriors, leading to the pair developing romantic feelings for each other. Elsewhere, a rival Fire Nation commander Zhao learns of Zuko's quest to capture the Avatar and decides to capture Aang and claim glory for himself in the eyes of Fire Lord Ozai. When the armies of Zhao and Zuko reach Kyoshi Island, Sokka joins Suki and the Kyoshi warriors in holding them off. Kyoshi takes full control of Aang's body and unleashes the full breadth of her Avatar powers to force the Fire Nation soldiers to flee. Aang then resumes control of his body and alongside Sokka and Katara bids farewell to the people of Kyoshi Island. In the Fire Nation home, rebels attempt to assassinate Lord Ozai, but his daughter Azula thwarts their plan while Ozai kills them all. Secretly, Azula plots for her brother Zuko to fail his mission so that she can be named the Fire Lord heir in his place. And so, Azula forges an alliance with Zhao to help defeat her brother, and convinces her father Ozai to promote Zhao to Admiral. Aang and his allies next stop in the Earth Kingdom city of Amashu, where they befriend the mechanist Sai and his son Tio. Amashu has a long history of living under Fire Nation's oppressive attacks, including frequent detonations of explosives, leading to the freedom fighter Jet to plot to assassinate the king for being too complacent. As Katara and Sokka thwart Jet's plan, Aang is captured and taken to Amashu's king. Aang is shocked to discover that the king is his childhood friend Bumi, who has grown old and hopeless against the Fire Nation's oppressive rule. Conversely, Bumi is angry at Aang for seemingly abandoning the world during the 100 Years of War, and in turn challenges his old friend to a fight to the death. Sokka and Katara help Aang defeat Bumi, after which the Avatar explains that it is with the help of his friends that he will bring balance to the world, encouraging Bumi to not give up hope. A guilt-ridden sigh reveals that Fire Nation has been forcing him to aid in planting bombs by threatening the life of Tio, but now he agrees to help the newly re-inspired king to eradicate Fire Nation spies from their home. Next, Aang, Katara, and Sokka venture off into the spirit world to save the captured residents of a nearby village. While there, Sokka encounters a friendly fox spirit before he and Katara are both tricked and captured by a vengeful spirit known as Ko the Face Stealer. Aang is met by his old friend and mentor Gyatso, who has waited in the spirit world for the day Aang needs him most. Gyatso explains that Ko will soon feed on all of its captive souls, and that only a previous avatar named Roku knew how to defeat the evil spirit. And so Aang returns to the real world to seek guidance at Roku's shrine. The spirit of Roku gives Aang a statue he had stolen that belonged to Ko's mother, which Aang can trade to Ko in exchange for the lives of Katara, Sokka, and the villagers. While leaving Roku's shrine, Aang is captured by the bounty hunter June, who turns him over to Zuko and Iroh. Unfortunately, Admiral Zhao then arrives to commandeer Zuko's ship and capture Aang for himself. Zuko betrays Zhao to free Aang, though when Aang thanks the Fire Prince for his compassion, Zuko is reminded of his father's words that compassion is weakness, and becomes bitter toward the Avatar once again. Aang then races back to the spirit world where he trades the statue to Ko, saving Katara, Sokka, and the villagers. Aang and his friends then finally arrive at the Northern Water Tribe, where the Avatar Kyoshi warned of an imminent threat. Chief Arnok welcomes the travelers in with a feast, while Sokka takes a romantic interest in the chief's daughter, Princess Yue. Yue explains that she was the fox spirit that Sokka encountered in the spirit world, as she had been gravely sick as a child, forcing her father to use the moon spirit's energy to heal her, granting her the ability to commune with the spirit world. Meanwhile, Katara is frustrated to discover that the tribe's waterbending master Pakku refuses to train her, as the tribe forbids its women from joining the men in battle. Katara challenges Pakku to a duel, and though Pakku defeats Katara, he is impressed by her determination and allows her to fight. Aang visits the shrine of the Avatar Karuk in the hopes of mastering the ability to waterbend. Instead, Karuk warns him that his connection to his friends is a weakness, holding him back from greatness. Elsewhere, Zhao blows up Zuko's boat to rid himself of the prince once and for all, then tasks Iroh to join him in battle as Fire Nation lays siege on the Northern Water Tribe. Secretly, Zuko has survived the attempt on his life, disguising himself as one of Zhao's guards. As Zhao's forces descend upon the Water Tribe, Katara and the other female waterbenders join Pakku and his army in battle. As the Fire Nation soldiers overwhelm the city, Zhao makes his way to the Water Tribe's spirit oasis, where despite Iroh's objections, he kills the moon spirit, rendering the waterbenders powerless and defenseless against firebender attacks. As all hope seems lost, Aang uses his avatar state to merge with the ocean spirit, creating a giant spirit monster that turns the tide against the Fire Nation soldiers. The disguised Zuko reveals himself on the battlefield and confronts his rival Zhao. Admiral Zhao reveals his alliance with Azula, then moves to kill Zuko once and for all. But before he can, Iroh kills Zhao, saving Zuko and allowing the pair to flee together. Princess Yue, having been imparted with a piece of the moon spirit as a child, chooses to sacrifice herself to become the new moon spirit, restoring the waterbending powers of her people and forcing Fire Nation to retreat in defeat. In the end, Aang departs with his allies, returning to his mission to master all of the elements, now with Katara acting as his waterbending teacher. Unbeknownst to the Avatar, the attack on the Water Tribe was simply a distraction for Azula to lead forces to overtake Amashu and capture King Bumi. This is all a part of Ozai's plot for world domination, and as Sozin's comet returns for the first time in 100 years, the Fire Nation's forces may now be strong enough for nothing, not even the Avatar, to stand in their way. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and why not check out this recommended video while you're at it.